says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now.
You come to the United States and you make your case.
It'd also give me, as president, the emergency authority to shut down the border until it could get back under control.
And those who come seeking asylum, we should immediately have the capacity to absorb them, keep them safe until they can be heard.
That's not all I can do. Just give me the power.
No one would be put in jail while waiting for their hearing.
Is it just me, or does it seem like every Democrat in Congress is either crooked or completely, totally crazy, or in a lot of times both? And anytime we can prove it, anytime we bring any examples of their complete liberal lunacy to the attention of any of their habitually dim followers, those people always have one of two responses. They either want to talk about injecting bleach, or they want to talk about Jewish space lasers, which, by the way, the directed energy weapon exists. So I don't know why they say that's conspiracy. But anyway, that's not my point. My point is, as crazy and worthless as nearly every single politician appears to be, the left has turned crazy into an art form. I mean, they own that shit, man. And right now, their brand of crazy, man, it is out in full force. They have convinced people, or are convincing people, that after 3 years of Biden inaction, not just inaction, but actual policies, procedures, active participation in destroying the U.S. immigration system, Cloward Piven could not have done it any better. After all that, they're now pretending that they've been begging all along to address and fix the border. But the only thing that has stopped them are evil MAGA Republicans hell-bent on doing the bidding of Donald Trump, who actually, according to them, wants the border to fail so that he can become president. All this brought to you by the same people who say that Donald Trump is trying to crash the economy and personally plan terror attacks so that he can get back into the White House, which also, according to them, he plans to never leave. The left are doing all this, all while praising Joe Biden for spearheading groundbreaking, once in 100 years border protection package, which if you believe that, you'll believe anything. But if you believe what's leaking out of the Senate, they have designed an enforcement mechanism that somehow is going to shut the border completely each day as soon as 5,000 people have been allowed in. And that is what Washington considers to be, allegedly, we haven't seen it yet, but allegedly, this is what Washington considers to be bipartisan border security. And I call that uniparty immigration management. That is all that is. But anyway, all that aside, Democrats are accusing Republicans of politicizing the issue of immigration, while at the very, very same time, they're doing this.
Donald Trump speaks about immigrants with the same rhetoric that Hitler did, claiming that immigrants like me and my family, and I quote, pollute the blood of this country. He wants chaos, and he's admitted he even would like to see a recession happening this year.
I wasn't going to stop any of this, but this guy cannot tell the truth, man. He's got to know better, right? He cannot possibly believe any of the things he's saying, right? Let me know in the comments if you believe that he believes it, because I don't think he can possibly believe it. But if he does, he probably also believes that Donald Trump called him personally a rapist, which he didn't. Now, as far as the whole blood thing, I'm not defending anybody's choice of language, but to be fair, he did not say immigrants are poisoning anything. He said illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants. I think it's an important distinction. And it seems like semantics, but I don't really think that it is. But he also didn't say that he'd like to see a recession this year. That is a complete and total falsehood. He assumes, like many economists do and most thinking people, that a recession is coming. And he also assumes, like most thinking people do, that he's going to be reelected. Considering those two things, he hopes that the recession that Joe has caused happens on his watch. And I think he feels that Joe deserves to get what he's been working for.
But I want to remind the public and the majority that Donald Trump...
Will the gentleman yield?
I will not yield. I want to remind the public that Donald Trump and House Republicans also have their own ideas for the border. So let's review the majority's border ideas that they've actually presented. Here they are. Donald Trump actually has said that he wants to build alligator moats along the border. That's one of his incredible ideas. Another idea that Donald Trump has promoted is he actually wants to electrify the border fence and maybe even put some spikes on the border. That's another Donald Trump and MAGA majority border idea. Another idea, which I'm not sure how well it would go, is he wants to actually bomb northern Mexico with missiles. That's another Trump idea. And finally, I think one of the ones that I think is the most grotesque is suggestions that instead we should maybe just shoot migrants in the legs as they cross the border. So once again, the Donald Trump and MAGA plan is alligator moats, bombing northern Mexico, shooting migrants in the legs, and electrifying the fence and putting spikes on them. That is the Donald Trump border plan.
This is an elected member of Congress, man, who I think, the more I watch this, actually believes that evil, racist MAGA cult members want to turn the southern border into an alligator-infested scene out of a Snake Plissken movie. I mean, come on, man. Can you imagine in all the time this guy prepped for this? He got his staff to build the cartoon board. He wrote and practiced. I assume he practiced this a few times. And at no time did anybody sound the alarm. It's crazy. I don't want to laugh at him. I'm sure that it's a very serious matter. But if you're going to go through all that kind of trouble, man, you got to have sharks with freaking laser beams, man. You have to have sharks with freaking laser beams. But anyway, all joking aside, this is what a bipartisan border bill should look like, people. I mean, have you guys heard any of this? I mean, this is what it should look like. I have never, ever heard Donald Trump or anyone serious talk about shooting migrants in the legs. I'm pretty sure that if he ever had said that, it would be the opening on every MSNBC show till literally the dawn of time. And, you know who actually has talked about shooting people in the legs, though? Joe Biden. That was his answer, I think, to all the bloodthirsty police roaming the streets that his party swears exist.
We can do this. You can ban chokeholds. But beyond that, you have to teach people how to de-escalate circumstances. De-escalate. So instead of anybody coming at you and the first thing you do is shoot to kill, you shoot them in the leg. There's ways you have to do more background checks in terms of whether or not the person coming in passes certain psychological tests.
Yeah, so he said it. And I gotta wonder, if Congressman Garcia were to see that video, would the leg thing like somehow miraculously transform into a humane and amazing idea? I kind of have a feeling that it would, but I mean, this is an elected representative, man. Someone somewhere believes in this guy, and probably more than once. I'll have to look him up, but that is almost impossible to believe. I mean, these guys, these people, they really do believe that any crazy fantasy that they manifest about Donald Trump, that they can just put it out there and people are going to believe it. And the sad thing is, they're not totally wrong, man. There are always fellow TDS sufferers that will believe most things without question. In fact, if it involves Donald Trump, they will probably believe anything without question. I mean, these are the same people that really do believe in their bones, man, that Donald Trump is a convicted sexual predator who sells nuclear secrets to billionaires. But at the same time, he's actually broke. That's why he's got to con dumb MAGA cult people into paying legal fees while he works to crash the economy, spread terror, and become president again, which he will never ever leave the Oval Office if that happens. And now they can add humanely shoot migrants to the list. I mean, these are not serious people. As I just said all that, it's freaking terrifying, man. It is terrifying. And some of these people write policy, man. It's insane. But that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.